Lomachenko versus Lopez. Let's do this. You're watching BWTM Sports. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, follow us on BWTM Online, Facebook page, and on Instagram. And yeah, check us out on our website, www.bwtmonline.com. Okay, so let's get into things. Lomachenko versus Lopez, the big unification fight this weekend, undisputed. So when this fight was first announced, I was looking at it, I think to myself, yeah, Lopez, big puncher. Lomachenko got hurt by Luke Campbell with a body shot, and if a bigger puncher was in there against Lomachenko, you might have had a chance of kind of pushing for a stoppage there, because Lomachenko was hurt. But Luke Campbell, as I said before in that fight, was just happy to get an autograph signed by Lomachenko. He was a fanboy in there that night, and he wasn't really there to try and get rid of Lomachenko. He was just happy to be in the ring, sharing the ring with Lomachenko. And that's no disrespect to Luke Campbell. I'm a Luke Campbell fan. But this fight between Lomachenko and Lopez really brings out their hatred in some people. I really don't like Lomachenko. Some people don't think he deserves to be pound for pound number one. Others would say that Lomachenko is where he is and gets the preferential treatment because of the color of his skin. They will say to you that, well, Top Rank doesn't really promote black fighters the way they promote white fighters. You have an undisputed king already in Terence Crawford that's moved up in weight and is now 2-weight world champion and doesn't get the sort of play that Lomachenko gets, although Crawford's very undisputed in his fight in another weight class. So there is talk like that. Depending on who you're talking to, and depending on what they have the hatred to have towards Lomachenko, those are conversations that will be had. I'm not saying I share those opinions. I'm just saying if you go across certain channels, YouTube channels, or social media, and pub talk, that's the sort of things you'll say. Times in boxing, people don't want to talk about what it is, what really gets their goat. And I'm just putting it out on the table for you to have your opinion and share your thoughts on what how this fight goes, and all the race sort of war going on there between Lomachenko and Lopez. Because well, there's that stuff there. And of course, Lopez is stoking the fire as well, saying he doesn't like Lomachenko. So here's a guy who really doesn't like Lomachenko. Whether that's for hype, whether that's for selling tickets, whether that's to ramp up the fight, because you can't really see Lomachenko's not somebody who you'll pay to watch Lomachenko for his skills, but you're not paying Lomachenko to see a tear up. You're not going to see Lomachenko for maximum of violence. You're going to see Lomachenko for the art of boxing. And all these people in boxing that say, oh, Floyd Mayweather was boring. But isn't Lomachenko about defense, making a person miss, making them pay? Lomachenko's great, you see? So that's why some people come out and make statements like white Jesus. Because, if Floyd does it, it's boring. If Lomachenko does it, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Although Lomachenko's lost to Salido, forget about that. And that's why some people get frustrated by the Lomachenko story. And that's why Lopez is so heavily pushed. People just want to see Lomachenko get blasted out there. That's the sort of hatred that people have towards Lomachenko because of the media stuff and the way the media is pushing Lomachenko in such a way, and it does get people's backs up. That people will say Lomachenko is more highly rated than Canelo. People have a problem with that. People say that Crawford should be more higher rated than Lomachenko. Do you understand? So there is a turn of the tide towards Lomachenko. Having said that, if Lomachenko beats Lopez now and becomes undisputed, There is an argument to say that, well, who was Crawford fought recently? He wants to fight Brook, and then he's fought Khan. You know what I mean? And you think, well, that's not really great opposition. At least with Lopez, he's unbeaten. He's a puncher. He's exciting to watch. You know, people are backing Lopez to knock Lomachenko out. Whereas nobody's really expected Khan to knock Crawford out, and they certainly don't expect Brook to knock Crawford out. Do you understand? So there's that thing that's going on there within boxing circles that I don't want to talk about, but it's there. It's there. And the world and the society today is all ramped up in hate and fear and division and race. So there's a ramp there. There's things there. So let's not get caught up in that. Well, I'm not getting caught up in it anyway. But the fight itself, I just want to give you a bit of backstory to it from the way I'm seeing it. For me, this is an interesting fight because at first I thought, yeah, Lopez will go out there and he'll blast Lomachenko out there. Lomachenko's been down before. Lomachenko's been hurt. So, and Luke Campbell's not as big punch as Lopez, right? But here's this. What I've seen of Lopez is when he hits guys, they go over. He hits guys, they go over. And a lot of the guys that he's knocked over, they don't have the boxing IQ of a Lomachenko. And I have to say this because what I mean by boxing IQ, some of the punches that Lopez has knocked these guys out with, will he find Lomachenko with the same shots? Or will he, when he's trying to throw those punches, be getting countered? That's the question. Will he get countered out? Will he get countered? Will he get outmaneuvered? Will he get will he walk onto counters fighting Lomachenko? Lomachenko, you know, he has his moves, he's got his punch, speed of hand and foot. He can switch hit. He's got a box of tricks, Lomachenko. But he's not. I don't think Lomachenko can fight any differently to how he does. He can vary how he throws his punches and the angles he throws his punches, but he's still Lomachenko. He's not going to suddenly come out tomorrow and come out rushing Lopez like Mike Tyson. So that's the way he is. He's a slipster. He's a trickster. He boxes with lots of boxing science and moves and pivots and twists. You know, and that for a puncher who's looking to knock you out of one shot can be dangerous because you end up getting yourself knocked out in the process. So questions I ask in this fight are, can Lopez find that punch to knock Lomachenko down and then knock him out? That's the question, because you got to ask yourself, Lomachenko's IQ is supposedly that high. He shouldn't be getting hit with the sort of shots that these guys have been getting knocked over on by Lopez. If Lopez cannot find the knockout punch, has he got the ability to outbox Lomachenko? So if you can't knock Lomachenko out, if you can't land that right hand or that left hook, and Lomachenko starts to make him miss and starts to make him pay and starts to frustrate him, and there's no plan B for Lopez, then what happens? Then what happens where Lomachenko makes him miss, makes him pay, you know, the legs do a funny little dance, you start to get hurt, then what happens? How does Lopez deal with that? I remember watching an old video back of when when Tank Davis was sparring with Lopez. It was years ago. But I noticed that while Lopez was doing what he was doing, it was fine. As soon as Tank decided, you know what, now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. And he started to go to work on Lopez. His dad jumped in and went, no, stop. You know, I know they said, well, you know, Lopez was a younger guy, he was young, he was this and that. All the excuses started coming up. When he was throwing those punches at Tank, he wasn't young. He was good enough. He could do it. As soon as the punches started zinging back, people started like, "Oh no, he's a young boy. He's a young boy." But you know, Lopez didn't care. So you know, if you're man enough to get in the ring and spar with someone like Tank, then when the punches start throwing punches out and going after him, when the punches start winging back at you, it's another matter altogether. And I just wonder that is this been the way that Lopez has been sparring and training throughout his career? And I asked whether his father's very protective of him. Do you go and saying his father thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread, and that you've got to back your son. But sometimes you can be too close to the action, and if things are not going right in the fight, he can't suddenly say, "No, no, no, don't hit my son, don't do this to my son, don't do that to my son." Does his father have the ability to switch it up when things are not going his way? What does he do when his son goes back to the corner? His son's hurt, or son gets dropped, or his son walks onto counters, or son is getting completely outboxed and looking being made to look a fool of. Is he going to start shouting and screaming in the corner? And when he's shouting and screaming in the corner, Lomachenko is going to get, and his team are going to get more encouraged by that. Is his dad able to handle it at the biggest stage of the biggest point of his son's career? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying his dad can't, but when your son's in the ring there and you're passionate and you're talking about, well, you know, your son can beat King Kong, he can beat Godzilla, you know, and he's talking like that, that's fine until, you know, your son is getting whooped by Godzilla or King Kong and your worst nightmares are literally happening right in front of you. Are you able to keep a cool head in that corner when your son is getting sent back to the corner after a beating, after being, you know, outboxed, out punched, out hustled, out maneuvered, can't land a punch, and being literally embarrassed? He's made a lot of noise, Lopez, a lot of noise, and a lot of threats, and he don't like him. He's spitting and stuff. But we've seen it before. We've seen it before. We've seen with when Bo fought Gonzalez. Gonzalez was talking all that smack. He picked up and he was threatening Bo. He was going to do this and that, and then Bo gave him a one-sided beating. We've seen people in the past talk all smack, you know, and get literally beaten the crap out of. So just because Lopez says it and he's got a few knockouts, that's nice. But has he got experience at the highest level? What happens when he can't land those punches? What happens when he can't hurt his opponent? What happens if his opponent is not there? What happens if his opponent's still standing after he throws his best punch? What happens if he throws his best punch and he ends up on the canvas after being countered? What happens then? There are a lot of people. I see a lot of the boxing community, some of the top fighters in the world are backing Lopez to do the business. How does he handle that pressure? He's going in there, you know, the champion, but you know he's facing a pound for pound here champion, or the best, according to some, the best boxer in the world today. How does he handle that pressure? Does he thrive of it? Does he really hate Lomachenko that much to a point where he's got a lot of energy that he's not targeting the right way? I mean, all this could be a lot of garbage, and maybe Lomachenko isn't the fighter that people say he is, and he's still got Salido issues. And Lopez goes out there and lands a right hand or a left hook and knocks Lomachenko out clean. If he does that, that will be sensational. But can he do it? Can he really do it? Is he that good? Or have those knockout reels on those knockouts just been inflating a champion that just isn't ready? For me, I would like to see Lopez have 3 or 4 defenses of that title. And, you know, is he a champion or is he a belt holder? I've seen Lomachenko in many defenses now. Is he a champion? Yeah, he's a champion. But is Lopez a champion or is he a belt holder? Just won the belt. Some people say that when you win a belt, you become better. Let's see. Let's see. The key also in this fight will be the referee. Will the referee allow Lopez to fight the way he wants to fight. Things I see about Lopez, he does keep his left hand low at times, so he is open to certain shots. Lomachenko has been dropped. If Lopez can get on the inside of Lomachenko, we have a great fight. Because all these Eastern European guys, they cannot fight on the inside. They don't mind staying on the outside and mid-range, but when you get close to them, they don't like it. They can't fight on when you're on their chest. So if Lopez can get there, it's Christmas coming early for Lopez. He's gonna have to get there. My thoughts on the fight. I was in a rush to say Lopez is gonna knock Lomachenko out. But you know what? Lomachenko's seen punches so many times in his career, for amateur career and professional career. I would say this fight is going to be about Lomachenko's experience. If you can take away Lopez's punching power, there's no way is Lopez a better boxer than Lomachenko. Hell no, no. So if Lomachenko can take away that punching power through footwork, good defense, and he's got the ability to do that, then yeah. But the thing is with Lomachenko, he spent a long time in the amateurs. I think too long in the amateurs, and that plus all those fights plus a pro, I don't believe you can have that long a professional career after all those amateur fights as well. Was the wear and tear starting to show in the Luke Campbell fight? Don't know. And injuries as well with Lomachenko. I don't know how long Lomachenko's got left. And is Lopez getting Lomachenko at the right time? That's what makes this fight so fascinating. But if you're going to ask me now, I'm going for Lomachenko win. Yeah. I'm going for a Lomachenko win because first I thought that Lopez would knock Lomachenko out. Now looking at it, has he got that? I know he has 170 amateur bouts. But I think Lomachenko had 56 amateur bouts and pro fights, and he's been a champion and been a champion, two weight divisions, and he's been he knows what it's like to be a champion. Do you understand? He's fought various styles. Don't know. I just don't know if Lopez at this point in time. I don't know if it's Lomachenko taking candy from a baby, or it's the young man beating up on an old man at the right time. This time out, this COVID kind of bubble sort of. This will be interesting to see how these guys fight on the night because it's a different situation. No big crowds. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going with Lomachenko. Stoppage. I'm going with Lomachenko stoppage in this fight. I think, and that's Lomachenko stoppage. Or Lopez stoppage. I'm going with Lomachenko stoppage. Why? Because I think that Lomachenko's good enough to negotiate those punches of Lopez. I think he's good enough, and I think his IQ is good enough. If he is to be the material or the fighter that we're calling pound for pound in the top three, everyone's calling it, because he's got to be able to negotiate those punches. For me, footwork, boxing ability. And he's got more to offer than Lopez. Lopez is a puncher, but Lopez doesn't offer as much tricks in the box at the moment as Lomachenko does. So I'm going with Lomachenko stoppage. After a frustrated Lopez isn't able to land the punches he wants to land, and Lomachenko starts to counter him. Second half of the fight, maybe late on, 8-9 rounds. Those are my thoughts. Didn't think I'd go this way, but that's how I'm seeing the fight. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Take care.